Hey guys, Marmalade here. Thank you so much for joining me for episode 6 of 5 Things. In this episode, we're going to go over 5 things I normally do on trail when I take a break. And I want to give a shout out to Joe Johnson for this idea. Great idea. I don't know how exciting this is going to be, but it's the real world. What we do when we're on trail, especially remotely, on breaks. So let's go over number 1. So number 1 is, of course, eat a snack. If it's lunchtime, have a bigger meal. So definitely eat and get something in you. I have a hard time actually walking and eating at the same time, so I don't know if that's a lack of coordination or whatever, but I've got a bird watching me right here. It's kind of funny. But anyway, also to hydrate. So it's a good chance, especially I normally try to take a break near water for a couple of reasons. Obviously to hydrate so I can drink some water and get some water in me, but hopefully get water for the next carry. And so I try to figure out how much water I need. I'm all about, some people don't want to mess with filtering some or a lot during the day, so they might have a 20-mile day and just carry water all that weight all day, which I think is ridiculous. If you happen to be in a section, I don't have it in the desert as much, but if you happen to be in this Washington, there's water everywhere, why not just filter water every 5 miles so you're not carrying that weight, especially for some of those big climbs. So that's what I normally do. That's number 1. All right, number 2 is I check my Guthook app, and I normally, before I start a day, the night before in the morning, I look at the day ahead and kind of plan the day. But during the day, it's good to see, depending on the progress, you can look at your watch and see, okay, well, what time is it? Am I fast? Am I slow? I'm going further or shorter than I thought? So I inspect Guthook on some breaks and look at what's coming up and try to evaluate. Some people don't like to look at it because I have friends that say, well, whether I look at it or not, I have to climb that mountain anyway, and that's true. But I like to mentally psych myself up if it's a big long climb or something like that, or something difficult, or something to look forward to, a waterfall, a lake, things like that. So on a break, I'll look at what the next section is and really the rest of the day, and I'll do that throughout the day. But I'm also looking for elevation climbs, like I said, but also water sources, of course, and my potential campsite for the end of the day. So I can kind of gauge how I'm going that day, whether I'm getting lots of miles, not very miles, if it's a tough day, easy day, and kind of figure out roughly maybe a couple campsites that are coming up towards the end of the day. So that's what I do. That's number 2. Number 3 is what we call yard sale. What is that, you ask? That is when you have condensation in your tent and your quilt gets wet, your tent's soaked, or it rained all night, things like that. You had storms. So normally what you get in the morning is you roll it all up, pack it up. My tent thankfully has a waterproof bag, so if my tent's soaked, it's in the bag, so it keeps everything else from getting wet. If it is super soaked, with my old tent, I'd put it on top of my pack and not put it in my pack with all my clothes and other things. And then basically you kind of have to hope you have a window or a whole day that's nice, and it needs to be warm, sunny, or at least breezy or windy. And basically just lay everything out. We call it a yard sale, and lay it all out and get it all dried out. So I try to pick a time and not slow down hiking, so I'll try to pick a time that's during a lunch or a break where I have some significant time, or if it's a kind of a rough day where there's not much sun, if the sun pops out, sometimes then you just stop and lay everything out. And sometimes you only get it 50% dry, but it's better than nothing when it comes to setting up for the next night. So number 3 is yard sale. So 4 is various things like there's times when, in the morning you just kind of jam. I'm pretty good about this. I almost never do this, but sometimes you do it where you just don't want to take the time to pack everything perfectly inside your pack. You want to get going. I haven't ordered an exact thing I do almost every time, but there's times when maybe we say we're going to leave at 7 and it's 7 and I'm not packed. I'll just jam everything and get going. So what I'll do sometimes on a break is repack my pack and I have a certain order. I've figured out what's comfortable for me in my pack, but also how to distribute the weight properly. And then, so I'll repack my pack just to make it more neat and feel more comfortable and be more comfortable on my back. Also things like sometimes, normally what I like to do is grab all the snacks that I have designated for that day and put them in a small bag on the outside of the stretchy part of my backpack. And if I didn't do that, I'll go and get my food bag, grab the snacks, put them on the outside so that when I'm taking breaks during the day, I don't have to keep digging in my pack and undoing my pack and repacking it. So I'll do stuff like that. And then the last thing that I was thinking of is you do a lot of layering and unlayering. So if it gets cold and windy, it gets hot, and some days, you're just playing the clothes change game where you're just continuing doing that. But I'll keep, a rain jacket or a sweater or something in the top of my pack for that day if I know there's, let's say, potential rain or something. And then on my break, I might put that jacket on, or maybe I don't need any more to put it in. So that's a lot of things. So there's a lot of times when you're getting in and out of your pack, but you try to minimize that as much as possible because it's just time consuming. But that's something I do on break, so that's number 4. All right, my 5th and final one is rest or taking a nap. So I don't do this very much, but I do it when I'm having a rough day or it's a really hard day with lots of elevation climb. But you know, depending on, it could be any trail. I refer to the PCT a lot, but it could be any trail. But like with the PCT, you have the desert section. So in that section, you're actually trying to get out of the sun when it's hot and take a break in the middle of the day and then wait till it's cooler. You know, hike in the morning and the evenings, not in the midday. So you would do that. That's what they're doing right now in the PCT. You know, if it's raining, I know when Washington rained on me a lot, I'd get under the trees and take a break and just get out of the rain, you know, somewhere I had some cover. So resting and recouping, you know, especially a little quick 20-30 minute power nap is really important sometimes. I don't take them that much. I don't know why, but like when I get in the mode of hiking, I hike, and I'd rather get to camp earlier and then relax and maybe take a nap. You know, this I get to camp a little early, I could take a 30-minute nap there, have dinner and chill, and then go to bed. So, but I do rest and nap sometimes. So that's my 5th one. All right, guys, that about does it for this video. Short and sweet. I hope you enjoyed it, though. Some people think that's like common sense, but some people wonder, you know, what you do on trails, especially people that don't hike. So I gave you my 5 top ones I do. If you do other things besides what I mentioned, let me know below what you do. Also, if you have some ideas for 5-thing videos, let me know and I'll give you credit like I did in this one. And that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, it was a short one. It wasn't too hard to do. It was just off the top of my head. But I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, see you down the trail.